Hello and welcome to Immortal Behaviour for this week.
Many ways to win a game. Get your team home as a halfback. He won the game with his kicking game.
Andrew kicks back and across. It has been a freakish kick by Andrew John.
I thought he'd maybe retire, but forgive me, Father, for I have said.
Maybe God has come to Marathon.
Well, hello and welcome to Immortal Behaviour. This week brought to you by Tab. Good to see you, Joey. What have we got there? A little cup of tea?
I got a sore throat, scratchy throat, yeah.
That's not good. What's your tea of choice?
English breakfast, trucker tea, no milk, 1 sugar.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
What's your coffee of choice?
A really hot.
That's right. It's got to be burning.
I have a really hot latte, like my man.
All right, on that note, let's...
When I take my mother-in-law,
yeah.
and she goes, said, "Oh, hot latte like my man." And then, "What do you want?" She goes, "I'll have a long black." And I go, I'll just leave that one. Hello, Jan, if you're watching.
She loves Immortal Behaviour. She tunes in.
She's actually told me she actually likes Kamal. She needs Kamal.
Oh, does she? She's got a bit
I
of...
haven't told her the story about Ben Kennedy having Kamal and Bob Hawke jamming their heads together.
At where?
At the races.
At the races.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, do I want to know what led to that?
It was when Singo's horse won the Golden Slipper, Beldejour. So me and Matthew were doing something for 9 actually, guest tipsters. And then he goes, "Don't worry about that, come up the box." So we go up there, me and Matty, and then went full of it. And then we hear this screaming, we look around, BK, Bob Hawke, he's going, "John, get him off." I said, "Yeah, don't worry about him, BK, hit him harder." Oh yeah, before mobile phone.
Oh, what an era, what an era. All right, let's get stuck into some footy chat because some news today that Souths have issued Latrell Mitchell with a fine. So it's a $100,000 fine with $80,000 of that suspended. So he's only paying $20,000 up front at the moment.
Behaviour bond, is that what they call it?
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
What do you make of this? Is it fair, too harsh, too soft?
It's pretty sufficient. It, what am I going to say with my background? I think it's penalty sufficient. You're banned for 1 game?
One game ban, $20,000 fine from the NRL, $20,000 from Souths.
Fine, get on with it. Let's move on.
All right, let's talk about the Eels roster rebuild because we had yesterday some news from Michael Shamus that Jason Riles has told Gutho and Ryan Madison as well that they're both required for next year. How hard is a rebuild at a club at the moment for Jason Riles? Looking at his roster at the Eels, how hard is it to rebuild?
Well, it's incredibly hard because to get, say, a real high-profile, top elite player, you're going to have to play overs. And to pay overs, and then your salary cap gets weighed down with this and that. So if you find yourself in a hole with the salary cap, it's so hard to get yourself out. I think the Parramatta are lucky. They have a strong junior base. So identify the best young players, coach the hell out of them, build from within. I don't know what's coming through in the juniors. I think one of their junior teams was pretty strong, maybe then under-19s. But the nucleus of the team, look, they've had injuries this year, but the nucleus of the team, they get them all in the field. They've got a team that can compete.
Well, you look at their team on paper, their team that is fully fit. You've got Mitchell Moses, you've got Clint Gutherson, Dylan Brown, you've got Will Penasini, you've got...
Yeah, you've got the players there. Jermaine Hopgood, I reckon he's a player they've really missed.
So he's re-signed?
Yeah, he's had that back injury. And the young guy from Penrith, I'll get this wrong, Iongi? I'll probably slurred that. There's high hopes for him at fullback, and if that's the case, maybe Gutho goes to 13. But you put Gutho anywhere because he competes and he's that tough. But what keeps getting said about Gutho is they need some X factor at fullback, and look, Gutho's lost a couple of yards. Everyone would know that, but he just competes every week, so he's got to be somewhere in the 13.
Where do you see his best position in the team?
Well, I still say fullback.
Yeah.
Depending on the young guy.
Coming through, Iongi.
Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, which I have. I haven't seen too much of him. I saw bits and pieces when he filled in when Dylan Edwards. He looks a good player, so I'll probably start the season with Gutho at fullback and then bring on the young fella if he shows enough promise.
So then would you have Gutho moving to another position on the field or
I
coming
think
off?
If the young fella's showing real promise, then he goes to fullback, and Gutho, you could even move Gutho to 5'8" and maybe move Dylan Brown to fullback. Moses, Gutho in the halves, Dylan Brown at fullback. It all depends on how do you say his name?
Iongi.
Yeah, Iongi. How's he go? And the Raps are big, so let's see.
Yeah. Well, what do you see at the moment for looking ahead to 2025 for Parramatta? The weaknesses in their roster, where are they really lacking?
Well, the front row, Regan Campbell-Gillard's gone. I really don't know what's coming through there, but they might have some young players coming through. I think the dummy half is a position. They sort of chopped and changed with Brendan Hands and Blondet and bloke from the Northern Beaches.
Lussick
With Joey Lussick. So you've got to find stability there. Who's their number one dummy half? And there's got to be more of a threat from dummy half. There's got to be a run threat. Every team should have a run threat from dummy half. So that's what they need to find.
Where do you see the strengths in their side at the moment?
Their halves. Well, Moses and Brown. Hopgood, I like him in the pack. When Hopgood's on the field, he organises his middle forwards. He provides an offload. They play well when they get off offloads. Junior Barlow, another name was slaughtered. So Junior, when he's on song, he had the injury this year, the lower leg injury.
Yeah, was it a foot? Was it? I feel like it was a foot injury. Yeah.
One of those. They need Junior on the field and firing. Once again, he provides the offloads and the second phase, which they play well off. But they get their best 17 on the field. They can compete for sure. That's the key. Moses is the key.
All right, let's look ahead to the finals time. This is a very exciting time of year. You've said that Manly are a team that you can see going on a run all the way to the Premiership.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
They've got big game players, and we know Turbo can find another gear or two. We know Ducey, he's done it at all levels. I think Olakawatu is a big game player. But they've got stars all across the field. They need everything to go right if they're going to make a run. The last Thursday night's loss against the Tigers, it was disappointing, but 3 plays sin bin. If they don't get sin bin, they win the game. So tough one there, but they got big game players. That's the key. You can lift. In a big game, pressure, they're going to lift.
What a crazy experience as well for Luke Brooks.
He hasn't played semis before.
Never. How would he be feeling in this position right now?
Well,
can you imagine that?
Well, hopefully first semi he doesn't when he packs his bag, he doesn't put his passport in there. His car might automatically go to the airport.
To Bali.
Mate, we're going to Brookie. Brooksy. Looking forward to seeing him play in semis. And look, it's important he just does his job. Run threat, when he's running the ball, that's when he's at his best. Especially down that left side, they need that real run threat. The right side, Daly Cherry Evans and Olakawatu own that, but looking forward to seeing Brooksy play in the semis.
Is there anything you're seeing from him in the last few weeks that you'd like to see him, certain areas of his game, lift more or just running more?
The ball, yeah. Real run threat. When he runs the ball, he's such a threat because he's quick, he's powerful, he gets those. He's got a low centre of gravity, he'd be hard to tackle.
What about the Dogs? There's a lot of excitement around them at the moment. A lot of Bulldogs fans, they're believing that this team can make it. What makes you wary of the Dogs?
Well, they're untried at that level. Once again, I speak about you've got to find another gear. When you go into those big games in semis and especially grand finals, you've got to find another gear. You've got to play in quicker pace, under fatigue, and look, that's the knock on Cronulla, whether they have the ability to go from 4th into 5th gear. And you know that Penrith will, Melbourne will, the Roosters will. That's the challenge for Cronulla, and I think Manly got the players who can step it up and play at that different pace. For the Bulldogs, things in their favour. They defend incredibly, best defensive record in the comp. They're playing with tremendous spirit, but their key players are untried at this level. And has the team got that to go to that level? I don't know. Whether they have the class to beat Melbourne at their best. I don't think they can beat. If Melbourne's at their best, Penrith's at their best, Roosters at their best, I don't think they can beat those teams. Also, Bulldogs have a tough game against Manly this week, and next week do they play the Cowboys?
Is it the Cowboys?
So going into the semis, they have 2 tough games. So if they come 5th, can they win 4 big games in a row? No one's done it outside the top 4. No one has done it.
Is this the year that could?
No.
Yeah, so Cowboys in there last week.
At the moment, you had to rank. You go Melbourne here, Roosters just behind them, just behind the Roosters, Penrith, and I think there's a big gap to the rest of the team. It's too big a ask. No one has done it. No one has done it for the last 30 odd years. There's a reason. It's too hard. I remember talking to Mitchell Moses about when they went on that run, Parramatta, and they got beaten in the grand final by Penrith.
Penrith, yeah.
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was asking him about it. He goes, mate, grand final week, he goes, I was flat as a pancake. He said, people wouldn't understand. It's the biggest game of your life. He said, mate, I was cooked.
Yeah.
Because you're playing so much tough footy. I think they were on the road even. They were up
because they did Townsville. They did, yeah.
The travel. But they're not machines. They're humans, and they get tired. Physically, everyone's busted. But
well, that's the interesting
just,
thing.
Getting yourself up to play footy, getting yourself up emotionally to play in those big games, naturally, it's just so hard. It's no one will win it outside the top 4.
You were even saying though this the other day about the Bulldogs in the fact that they are so fit.
Yeah.
They're so fit as a team.
They're one of the fittest teams in the comp. And there's no secret. Travis Toomer's there, and he's trained them that hard, and that's why they're getting success. And they've got trust in each other because they know this player's worked hard and he's red-lined at training. It's a great story. It's a story of the year, the Bulldogs. But I just think this year, I don't know if they have the class to beat those top 3 teams. But hopefully I'm wrong, as usually I am.
Well, if you're a premiership contender right now, so you're in a team that's going to be playing finals footy, what do you do in these next few weeks to take you up to that extra, 5-10%?
When we won comps, it was always we're going to make a sacrifice a couple of weeks out. Whether it was you wouldn't have a beer, or some players they'd stop having ice cream or stop having coffee in the morning.
What do you do? Ice cream.
Said I'm not having coffee, and then someone went, "You don't drink coffee." I know. You got me. I won't have iced coffee. No, I didn't have a beer for about a month.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whether it's psychologically or what, it just you're making sacrifice and you're doing it as a group.
Yeah. Bring everyone together a little bit.
Not having a beer for a month, and then we won the comp. Those first 54 beers I had were just sweet. Yeah. So making sacrifices. And
did you feel your tolerance changed?
No. Yeah, immortal. Yeah, immortal behaviour.
Immortal behaviour. That's
there
it. Yeah, that's
immortal.
That's what happens when you win a premiership.
Immortal. Is it misbehave? Yeah, but making sacrifices, and it can be fun, but then. You even bring it up. You haven't had chocolate for 6 weeks. How good is it? How good's that Mars bar going to taste?
Yeah.
But that sort of stuff. But from a playing point of view, I'd always concentrate firstly on my defence. I used to say, right, if I can get my defence right, and I'm aggressive defence and get myself in there and really defending hard, then it shows that I'm on and my timing's on. And the other thing, my kicking game, I really work on extra my kicking, general play kicking and my goal kicking leading into big games.
As in, would you stay back after training and do an extra
stay back all the time,
20 minutes? 30?
No. Hours.
Hours.
During the week, yeah. If you could sustain it, if I was fit and firing at that stage, I'd do probably 1 or even 2 extra kicking sessions and goal kick.
Yeah.
So important you go up by 6s in those big games.
So how long would you do a goal kicking session for?
Half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Look, Nathan's seeing that at the moment. It's hard to continually to do an hour after training because your body breaks down. But you get out there and, as I said, half an hour, 40 minutes, but it's more quality. Instead of kicking 40 kicks, you kick 20, but really concentrate on it and go through different scenarios and situations and different parts of the field. And even play in your head, right? There's 10 minutes to go, I've got to nail this kick. Put the pressure on and then nail it.
Yeah.
It's exciting time. It's the best time of year. Like, you go outside, it's warm,
I know.
swim in the ocean. It's just the best time of year. The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, people are getting married.
I went for a swim the other day. Oh, yeah.
It's cold, is it? No. You've been reading the Daily Mail.
I have. I read the Daily Mail. I saw
Kate Gamble, lucky girl.
Yeah.
Very lucky girl.
Beautiful ring.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It only happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They're on the money, the Daily Mail.
Do you have any plans for a
Next question.
Bucks party?
No Bucks party.
Immortal Behaviour Bucks party.
An Immortal Behaviour Bucks party?
We'll do it with Gus's boat trip.
Yeah.
I'll have a rebel boat trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll have the little speedboat off the big boat.
I'll have the fair start. I'll have about 5,000 people turning up. 5,000 people and pretty much no teeth by then. Wrestling and all sorts of shenanigans.
What would be your ideal Bucks party?
Well, I've had a couple. I don't know. I can't believe
You learnt lessons from the previous
people have
guy.
their Bucks party. They go to Vegas or fly.
I went to a hens party in Vegas.
We went back to Cessnock. We pub crawled at Cessnock. That was good.
We had a four nights in Vegas and then I think 4 nights in Malibu.
Oh, yuck. Getting panic attacks.
Well,
No, those days are gone.
just a one one day at the pub.
Just one day of power.
Just the hour of power, the day of power, the 24 hours of power. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Lachlan Galvin. We did his game last week when they beat the Seagulls at Leichhardt Oval. He was phenomenal to watch, and Gus was actually calling him the best teenager he's seen.
A big rap.
That's huge. He's seen how many teenagers Gus has...
Considering Gus really mentored and moulded Brad Fittler's career. I got to say, I think Brad Fittler's, the way he started his career, I think it's a bit better than Lachie Galvin, but different. Freddie played in the centres then. He wasn't playing in the halves. Lachie Galvin's doing it all on his own. He's got the 6 on his back, but he's playing half.
Well, Gus was saying that he reckons he'll be the highest paid player ever by the end of his career.
Yeah, without a doubt. Him, Sam Walker. Well, Nathan's only 26. Nathan's got another 10 years of earning. And the halfbacks, and there's not too many around. So if you go Nathan at the moment, and then you'd probably go Sam Walker, and then look at Isaiah Katoa. I got a massive rap on him. But then the next one's probably Galvin. Just off the top of
Jerome
my head.
Hughes?
Jerome Hughes, but he's getting older.
Yeah.
Jerome would be in his 30s, wouldn't he? I'm talking about 4 or 5 years' time.
Yeah.
Walsh.
Reece Walsh, but halfbacks, they're not falling out of trees like they used to. It's the bare minimum.
How much can you imagine Lachlan Galvin earning by the end of his career per season?
Let's go with inflation. I'm just doing the math in my head. He'll be. Well, what's Lachie now? He's 19. So he's got another 15 years of earning. So the salary cap by then will probably double. Yeah, he's 2.5 million a year. It's exciting for him. And you know what? It wouldn't change him. You see him after the game, how excited, how much he's amped about
you can tell,
footy.
he just loves
He
his,
just loves playing footy. And he doesn't play for money. Sam Walker doesn't play for money. Nathan doesn't play for money. They just love playing. And
Tom Turbo doesn't play for money. He offered to give some back.
But the best ones don't play for money.
Do you remember seeing Nathan Cleary at these early stages of his career? Compare that to Lachlan Galvin. Do you see it totally different? How so?
Well, when Nathan first started, he was very controlled. And I've actually said publicly, I don't think he takes enough risks. I don't think he's creative enough. But he's developed that side of his game. Well, now he's the ultimate player. He's got everything. But at the start of his career, I thought he was too conservative. Where I probably think at this moment, their careers, Galvin's probably in front. And Galvin physically has got so much developing to do. Like, as you're seeing, he looks like a 16-year-old boy.
He's so tall, but you can just tell that he's going to fill out so much in his.
Look, in 2-3 years' time, he'll have another 10 kilos on his body. I think he's 91 kilo. Benji was telling me.
Yeah, right.
So he'll get up to 100 kilos. But if I had to compare at this stage, I think Lachlan would be sort of just in front of Nathan. But Nathan, each year he has built his game differently, and now he's the complete halfback. There is no weaknesses. He creates, he does everything. So that's the challenge for Lockie. He's, teams work you out. You've got to keep evolving. You've got to keep changing your game. So that's the challenge, but he's got the best coach. I'm stoked to hear Benji saying, look, I let him make errors.
Yeah.
I let him get out there and play. He's probably the best coach for the way he plays. It's exciting for the West Tigers. Buller next year, Galvin, Luai, Appy, Heath Mason. Geez, he's a good player too. If they get the forwards firing, then it's good times for the Tigers.
It's an exciting time for footy.
Brothers, what's it, Latu Finer? The rap Benji gave him off camera to me, and then he nailed that pass.
Yeah.
Who scored under the post? Who was the right back rower? It wasn't Samuela. Was it Seyfarth? Did Seyfarth score?
I feel like Seyfarth did.
Alex Seyfarth. He's every primary school teacher's nightmare. Who we got this year? You got Alex Seyfarth.
Alex Seyfarth scored,
and Tyson Gamble.
Can you imagine?
Earlier redundancies, please. Was it Seyfarth?
Yes, Seyfarth scored in the 46th minute.
He said Benji's words were silky, his skills. And when Latu got the ball, and was going quick with his feet, but then held the ball up. Quick feet, soft hands. It's rare to have. He looks a really good player.
Yeah, well, exciting times ahead for the Tigers and for footy fans as well. We love seeing, young players coming in and evolving. That's all we have time for this week's episode of Immortal Behaviour.
Do you think the Knights will make the top 8? That's no.
No.
You went, I think it's between them and Brisbane. And Brisbane play the Dolphins.
Yep, that's going to be a big game. The Dolphins are so injured at the moment.
They play but Melbourne last round. So Bellamy will play his full team apparently.
Yeah.
So the Knights go Titans this week at home.
Yeah.
Next week they've got Dolphins Old Boys Day.
Yeah.
But they're for and against Newcastle a lot better than the Dragons.
Yeah.
I think the Knights may scrape in.
Okay. I love this when the ladder's like this.
I know.
When it's everyone's sort of trying to work it out.
Permutations.
It's a log jam.
Stupid word. Second last.
All right. Well, we're going to get started with planning Joey's Bucks party.
Yep.
We'll have to get Gus on the phone.
We'll get the fair start.
Yep. We'll get Gus on the phone, see what he can organise with the boat cruise.
That won't be happening.
All right. Enjoy the footy. See you later.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights, action, 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour, grab a seat on the couch for that. And of course, my favourite, Freddie in the Oak.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm, subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.